Hello, namaskar, namaskara, namaskaram, namaskar. My name is Pooja Dwivedi and I bring to you a very important news which is not very good. That heat waves in India are killing people. More than hundreds of people have died in a really short span of time due to heat waves. Are you being hydrated enough or not? Please drink your water. Avoid going out in the sun if you have the privilege, unlike our poor laborers who do not have access to proper conditioning, air conditioning, coolers, fans, and they have to make their ends meet because they are laborers. So we are going to discuss all this in detail, but before I begin, I would like to inform you about our prelims to interview batch, which is being conducted in 3 different languages: English, and Hindi. And everything is going to be provided in this batch to you, from study materials to prelims test series, mains test series, daily current affairs, answer writing practice, and even a mains residential program for those students who are going to qualify the prelims 2024. This is all available at just rupees 29,999, given that you are applying my code. This is PD Live. Please do that. Now, moving ahead, let's talk about the roadmap. This is the roadmap that we are going to take today. First of all, let's talk about the news. Many fresh deaths have been registered, and the Union government, the Union Minister of Health, Mansukh Mandaviya, has also presided over an emergency meeting with respect to this silent disaster. The silent disaster is increasing intensity and frequency of heat waves in India. Moving on, first of all, we have to understand what is a heat wave. Heat wave can be either defined quantitatively or qualitatively. If we talk about the qualitative part, then the nature of air which is harmful for the human beings, for the human body, is a heat wave. As in, if the quality of the air is very heated and it is proving fatal to the human body, it is a heat wave. Quantitatively, if the temperature is rising to a level which is going beyond a threshold, a temperature threshold, then it is known as a heat wave. Let's know about it. It is also known as a periodicity of abnormally high temperatures more than the normal maximum temperature. For example, let's take the example of Uttar Pradesh. Few decades back, normal temperature was around 35, 36, even 40 degrees. But now it is becoming 42 degrees Celsius, 43, 45. It is giving a real feel of 50 degrees Celsius, 51 degrees Celsius. So this is a heat wave. When temperatures remain above the maximum temperature threshold for a longer period of time, declare that region as a heat wave affected region. Summer season in northwestern parts of India, this is the main cause of heat wave. Generally, we see it in the northwestern, central, eastern, western part of India. The major month will include from April onwards to June, sometimes also July. Regions or states such as Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Union Territory of Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, even sometimes in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, we can witness heat waves. But the peak time of heat waves is the month of May. Okay, from April to June, majority of the heat waves takes place. But because of the increase in intensity and frequency of heat waves, we are witnessing them in March as well. Now, IMD has defined it certainly with the help of the temperature thresholds. When the actual maximum temperature remains 45 degrees Celsius or more, irrespective of normal maximum temperature, it is known as a heat wave. Heat wave is impacting the health of the people. How? This causes dehydration. When we go out in the sun for a prolonged period of time, the water retention in our body decreases because of too much sweating. Heat cramps occur. Heat cramps causes edema, which is swelling, and also syncope, which is fainting, with a fever which is below 39 degrees Celsius, that is 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So if we talk about heat cramps, these two are the major symptoms of it. It is also causing heat exhaustion, in which we can witness fatigue, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps, and sweating as well. So these are the symptoms of heat waves. Heat stroke, when the body temperature goes beyond 104 degree Fahrenheit or more, along with delirium. Delirium means confusion. Seizures could occur and even coma and thereafter death. It is lethal. Now, why do heat waves cause death? We will talk about that. Just the temperature of the area is not responsible. When it is combined with high humidity, which is known as the wet bulb temperature, this is the major problem. We will get to know that as well. If you remember the incidents of April 2023, when 13 people died in Navi Mumbai during a government organized program, there heat wasn't too much, but humidity was too much. And when these two get combined, what happens? These kind of issues happen. Maximum temperatures there, I'm talking about Navi Mumbai, it was just between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius, but high humidity at the venue was the major cause of it. See, if we talk about Ballia specifically, a lot of people have died in a short span of 2 days. There the health sector has become overstretched because of the people being brought in. The relative humidity in the city of Ballia was just 31%. Not just, but quite a lot. It was on June 18th at the evening time. The maximum temperature, it reached 43.5 degrees Celsius. Now, according to heat index, which measures the temperature as well as the humidity, it says the real feel was 51 degrees Celsius. When these two get combined, the real feel increased, and that caused a lot of problem. Why does it happen? Why these two factors are so lethal? Like we go out in the sun or we take the heat. What happens? We start sweating. Sweating is a normal phenomenon to cool the body. The body cools down itself with the help of sweating. Without any humidity, what will happen? Sweat will evaporate from our body, and hence the body regulation, the temperature of the body will get easily regulated. When there is a lot of humidity and heat, the temperature will cause us to sweat, but humidity is so much that the sweat won't evaporate from our bodies, and this causes irregulation of the body temperature, and hence the body cannot get cooled down and we cannot absorb the heat in a regulated manner. Hence death occurs or heat strokes occur. Alright, so this is the major issue. And excessive heat, it increases the metabolic activity in our body. When that happens, the blood pressure comes down, and with increased sweating, oxygen levels also come down, and this causes hypoxia. That means oxygen is not reaching our body correctly, and then metabolism goes haywire in such conditions. When that happens, body creates a toxin overload, starts impacting multiple organs, and at that stage things become really hard to be regulated outside the ICU. So we need to give the person the correct treatment then and there. So if you see somebody suffering from heat stroke or exhaustion from heat, move that person to a cool place under a shade. Give water or rehydration drink if the person is of course conscious. Fan the person, consult a doctor if symptoms persist. Do not give alcohol, caffeine or aerated drinks. Specifically, we love chai in India. Do not drink chai or other caffeinated drinks. We love tea, I know that. But please do not do that in excess. 1 to 2 cups a day is okay. Cool the person by putting a cool wet cloth in the face and body, feet as well. Loosen clothes for better ventilation so that the person can sweat. We all should carry certain things in our emergency kit to deal with such heat impacts. Water bottle is a must, umbrella, hat or cap or head cover, hand towel, hand fan, and electrolyte, glucose or oral rehydration. So all this is very important. Next year, when will we have our preliminary examination? Please do carry most of these things, whatever is allowed, because I know the centers go where and it creates a lot of problems for the students. I'm so sorry for you all. Now, which strata of the society is the most impacted? The laborers, the daily wage laborers, because they have to make their ends meet. They do not have awareness about the frequency of such extreme weather events. They do not have access to instant cooling as well. So they are the most vulnerable. The government should create a specific social plan for them, because heat waves are going to increase in the upcoming years, and it is the responsibility of the government and the citizens to ensure that we can do whatever we can in order to safeguard such labours, because we cannot change the nature of their work. India saw a 55% rise in deaths due to extreme heat events between 2000 to 2004 and 2017 to 19, and the country has recorded more than 17,000 deaths to heat events in the past 50 years. This is as of 2021, and as you can see, beside me, heat waves are spiking every year. Because of El Nino also, this year we are seeing such extreme weather events. Moving ahead. Now, extreme heat events are not only engulfing India, but the entire globe, but also Pakistan, if we talk about subcontinent of India. And it has rendered 30 times more likely by climate change, by anthropogenic activities, deforestation, soil erosion, sea level rise due to extreme heat events, that is because of melting of glaciers. Everything is interconnected. Geographic, because India is highly populous in nature, it has geographic diversity, it has huge population density, specifically in the plains. We are at the brunt, we are the main bearers of whatever issues may arise because of heat waves. Now, India is vulnerable. We have known that because of the Climate Vulnerability Index, which measures which measures the vulnerability of India on different parameters, such as what are the socio-economic cost, what is the livelihood cost, what are the biophysical factors to study this impact. And it has seen that 90% of India is in the extremely cautious or dangerous category. It is also said that India is going to, it is going to cost us as a country 2.4 to 4.5% of our GDP by 2030 if we do not take any caution or if we do not prevent such extreme weather events. Moving ahead, in 2023, India experienced the hottest February since record keeping began in 1901, although the March rainfall was a respite. In March 2022, it was the warmest year and the third driest in 121 years. So you can see the extreme weather events. The year also saw the country's third warmest April since 1901. And in India, about 75% of the workers, they experience heat-related stress. We are privileged enough to, be in our rooms in air conditions. This is a privilege. This is a luxury. If you have this much, thank God every day. But what about those poor laborers? What are we doing? What is the government doing for them to ensure that the nature of work will not change? But what are we giving them with respect to what respite we are giving them, so that they are not bearing the brunt of the heat waves? Because the marginalized group is the first group that is, of course, going to bear the brunt of it. See, there is a lack of awareness about heat wave risks. Even if you talk to your parents, they wouldn't feel like it. They just say, yeah, it's too hot, बहुत गर्मी है, but they don't want to do anything about it. They might not even want to carry a water bottle with them. So make them aware of the impacts of heat waves. You can do that much. There is also limited access to affordable cooling solutions. There is none, just in ATMs, maybe certain ATMs or certain areas, but you cannot see that a dedicated area has been given. Of course, for that we need energy. For that we need coal, until and unless renewable energy gets its foot on ground overall in India. But if we want more energy, we would want more coal. That would give rise to global warming. It's all interconnected. There is also strained public health infrastructure, because once we see so many people die, there is a lot of stress on the public health infrastructure. They are not well aware of the consequences every year it is going to be because of the heat waves. Urban planning is neglecting the environment and ecology. I can assure you of that. Trees are being felled down at a very fast rate, and that is to develop residential areas. The concretization of the urban areas is causing a lot of heat to be, to be absorbed by these concrete areas, and at the night time, because of radiations, this particular heat gets absorbed by the atmosphere. So The lack of proper planning is the biggest issue of urban heat. This is also known as heat island effect. When trees are felled down, they cannot do much with respect to heat absorption, and hence we start blaming the environment, or even even worse than that, God. Now, if you want the PDF of this particular class, we can get connected on Telegram. If you have any sort of question with respect to UPSC, you can also get connected with me on my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching.